In a small, quiet village, nestled between rolling hills, lived a young man named Yusuf. His life was far from easy. His father had passed away when he was just a child, leaving him to care for his ailing mother. Yusuf worked tirelessly from sunrise to sunset, but poverty was a constant shadow in their small home. Some days, their plates were full, but on many others, they were empty. Despite the hardship, despite the hunger, there were two things Yusuf never ever gave up: his prayers and his unwavering trust in Allah. He believed, with every fiber of his being, that Allah was his provider and sustainer. One afternoon, the wealthiest businessman in the village, known for his shrewd dealings, summoned Yusuf. The man looked Yusuf up and down, a glint in his eye. "Yusuf," he began, his voice smooth and persuasive, "I have a simple task for you, a small job. All it requires is a tiny, harmless lie. Just one little untruth, and I will reward you with more money than you've seen in a year." He dangled a heavy purse of coins, the clinking sound echoing in the quiet room. Yusuf felt a pang in his stomach. He thought of his mother, her weak frame, the empty cupboards at home. The money could change everything. But then he remembered his faith. He lowered his head, his gaze fixed on the floor, and replied softly but firmly, "I'm sorry, sir, but I cannot. I cannot lie. Allah is always watching." The wealthy man let out a short, sharp laugh. "Allah? Why does a poor man, a beggar like you, cling so tightly to faith? What has it ever given you?" Yusuf remained silent, his heart heavy but his resolve unshaken. He had made his choice. And with that choice, he lost the job and the promise of a full purse. That night, the silence in Yusuf's home was heavier than usual. There was not a single crumb of bread, not a drop of milk. His mother, lying frail in her bed, turned to him, her voice a mere whisper. "Oh, Yusuf, has Allah forgotten us?" Her words pierced his heart like a knife. Tears welled up in Yusuf's eyes, blurring the dim candlelight. He blinked them back, forcing a strength he didn't feel into his voice. "No, mother, never," he said, taking her hand. "Allah is with us. He is simply testing us. He tests those he loves." But as he spoke the words, a seed of doubt tried to sprout in his own heart. The night felt long and dark, and hope seemed very far away. As the village fell into a deep slumber, Yusuf felt a pull to prayer. He performed wudu, the cool water a balm to his troubled mind. He stood in the quiet corner of his small room, facing the Qibla, and raised his hands. This was not a prayer of recitation. It was a conversation, a desperate plea from a broken heart. Tears he had held back all day now streamed freely down his cheeks, soaking his beard. "Oh, Allah," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. "My Lord, you know my state. You see my struggle. You know I have tried to earn my living in a way that pleases you. I have turned away from what is forbidden even when it was offered to me. I have never turned to another for help, only to you. Ya Rab, if you choose to provide for me and my mother tonight, I will be eternally grateful. And if you choose not to, if this is our last night, I will still trust in your wisdom. My faith is in you alone." He poured out his heart, his fears, his hopes, his complete submission, until his soul felt lighter, and a strange sense of peace settled over him. The first light of dawn was just breaking, painting the sky in hues of gray and pink. After completing his Fajr prayer, a gentle knock echoed on their door. It was soft, but in the morning stillness it sounded like a drumbeat. Yusuf's heart leaped. Who could it be at this hour? Cautiously, he opened the door. Standing before him was a man he had never seen before. The stranger had a kind face and a gentle smile. "Are you Yusuf?" he asked. Yusuf nodded, confused. Without another word, the man handed him a large, heavy bag. "This is for you," he said. Yusuf took it, astonished by its weight. The man then handed him a small, folded piece of paper before turning and walking away as silently as he had appeared. Yusuf's hands trembled as he opened the bag. It was filled with bread, dates, meat, and at the bottom, a smaller purse heavy with coins. His eyes then fell to the note. He unfolded it and read the beautiful flowing script. "Indeed, for the one who fears Allah in secret, Allah will make a way out for him from where he does not expect." Yusuf fell to his knees, clutching the note in the bag. He wasn't crying from sadness or despair anymore. These were tears of pure, overwhelming joy and gratitude. Allah had heard him. Allah had answered. This was just the beginning of a new chapter for Yusuf. A few days later, the same mysterious man returned. this time with an offer of a respectable, halal job at a fair wage. Yusuf accepted with a grateful heart and worked with honesty and diligence. Slowly but surely, their situation began to change. With proper food and care, his mother's health improved, and the light returned to her eyes. Yusuf became self-sufficient, respected not for wealth, but for his integrity. Yet through all this newfound ease, he never forgot the night of his last dua. He remained humble, his heart forever attached to his Creator. He never missed a prayer, and the fear of Allah, born not of terror but of profound love and reverence, remained the guiding compass of his life. Yusuf lived a long and contented life, and he would often gather the children of the village and share his story. He would look into their young, eager faces and say, "Remember this, my children. Sustenance, our rizq, is not in the hands of people. It is not with the wealthy businessman or the powerful king. It is with Allah alone. Sometimes his help might seem delayed. You might face tests that shake you to your core, but never ever doubt his promise. Be patient, hold fast to your principles, and trust in him completely. For Allah never ever fails those who put their trust in him." And that, my friends, is the beautiful story of Yusuf in the night of his last dua. A powerful reminder that when we choose faith over temptation and patience over despair, Allah's help is always near, often arriving from paths we could never have imagined. Thank you for listening. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking and subscribing for more reflections. Until next time, may peace be with you.